downwind. Nice big high flick, caught in the wind, straight over the defender's head and into Joe Bolio's hands. Safe hands in the end zone there to get their 3rd point.
7-3. The comeback's on before half.
I've always said, it doesn't matter what the score is in Frisbee. You might be down by 1, you might be down by 7, but you can always come back. That's the good thing about Frisbee.
So give us a line call here, Callum.
So it looks like New South Wales putting on their experience line here. They've got a couple of players who've played under 23 Worlds, played in London last year for the Goannas. So, and they've got a couple of players who've been playing under 18s, representing New South Wales for the last couple of years. So they've got quite an experienced team compared to compared to ACT. We've got Jaden Ferguson, 1. We've got Hugh Capon, number 2, Dan Petrov, number 3, Braden Chan, number 4. I just can't see the last 3 we got. It's
it's Alex Gann, 5.
Yeah, Alex Gann is on there, number 5, and then you've got Eric Lau, number 6. And I think it's Daniel Reeve, number 7, facing up. So that's sort of their experience line, quite tall. They just want to punch this one in downwind and take half.
It's a pretty good pull, actually. The pulls haven't been...
They've been undesirable so far this game, I have to say.
Come out and side stack here. Side stack versus zone.
It's an interesting tactic. They've pulled it out a few times, actually, from both teams, ACT and New South Wales, using the side stack and utilising their throwers with a little bit of this wind.
Big backhand.
Oh, and that's just a drop in the end zone. That was a nicely placed pull with a good angle on it, which put it out in front of Eric Lau, but he just went for the pancake catch in the end zone and just fumbled it.
Now it's ACT's chance to get a break back. Matthews Hunter picking up the disc. Just normal vert stack here.
Standard vert stack. They've been utilising their speed so far this game, ACT. It's nice.
Slithers out wide to Hodson. Oh, he bombs it right into the middle of the stack. Big grab. Massive
huge grab there
Bell.
by Isaac Bell. That's huge. He had Braden Chan bearing down on him.
Oh, he's done it again.
Oh, and that's where you see Braden's legs. Like, it's unfortunate. He almost got that D earlier, but he has some serious hops in there. Oh, Dan Petrov has just punted it. They're not playing.
Oh, another drop.
Another cold drop by Alex Gann. Neither teams are just holding on to the disc, I'd say. They're not playing safe Frisbee. They are just punting it. They want to get out of this cold. They want to come in for half-time and sort of recollect their thoughts.
Barron with a nice inside there.
Up the line to Alex Bell.
Looking centre. Nothing eventuating. He's in trouble here. Gets it away. Nice. Spoke too soon.
He's just put that out. He had no defender on him. All he had to do was put it out in space so he could run onto it, and he's just put a little bit too much pepper on it. Braden Chan with the disc here. Looking long. That's good. Oh! I spoke too soon. Good patience there, but
Hodson with the run through.
Wonderful D there.
You would say the defense is really holding their end of the bargain this game.
It's going to be interesting to watch through the tournament. I think defense is going to be something that a lot of the teams are focusing on. And with a young team, there's so much big put, long. We got, and
third D in the end zone.
Hugh was just out of position there by Aidan Barron from ACT. He just pushed him around, got that good line on the disc, and just bodied him out of it. Yeah, I think defense for this tournament is going to be the thing to watch. With young teams, they're so athletic. There's a lot of new fast guys, and the offense is just a little bit under experience. Normally, a lot of these players, if they have played worlds, they will have been playing as receivers, not necessarily as handlers, and so it's going to be interesting to see who can hold on to the disc and who can value that disc and not throw it away.
So there's a score for New South Wales, and that takes them to half. 8-3. Strong half from the first seed.
Definitely, you can see where the seeding has got it correct. We're looking at top seed here, New South Wales, against bottom seed ACT, and yeah, there's a fairly strong difference between the two. Just a little bit more class by New South Wales, a little bit faster, some nice throws. We saw a massive flick huck from the brick mark, 3/4 of the way of the field by Angus McDonald earlier on in the game.
Was it in though? It's not on the street, but was it in?
Well, that's the conscientious thing that we've got all of the supporters, all of the guys on the sideline here talking about. Was it in? Looks like he caught it out of the end zone.
He called it, and they let him play it.
Jumped over the line, called it in, and, well, as in Frisbee, has to be called by the other team. You have to call it out, otherwise it's in.
Any goal's a goal, Callum. Any goal's a goal.
Yep. Doesn't matter how it comes, as long as it's on the scoreboard as one. Yeah, it doesn't need to be pretty. That's the good thing about scoring.
All right,
just looking over at the Victoria against ACT game, just in the distance, and this is an interesting game. So we've got second seed Victoria against, I think, second bottom seed ACT. I have to check that.
That's South Australia there.
Oh, sorry, South Australia, Adelaide. And Victoria currently up. I think it's something like 7-3, 7-4. Oh, and another one. Was that in?
Called in by Josh DeBell.
Called it in. Spirit's been very good.
I don't think we've seen a foul call yet in a whole half of Frisbee.
No, that's true. Haven't seen a foul call. Yeah, that's interesting. A good commentating, if I say so myself.
So what does ACT do to get back in this game? They're down 5.
They're down 5.
What do they do here?
They've only scored downwinders. They haven't scored upwinders. I think they've been getting some good swings. We saw in the last couple of points upwind. They've actually been getting those dumps quite nicely, and then from those dumps they've got one throw up, and then it's been stagnant, and there's been no continuation. So I think the vertical stack's working quite well for them because they're quite fast. So I think they just need to utilise those handlers a bit more. Get the dump, get that swing, then get that one up the line, and just need a handler coming past to get the dishy off, just so they can continue working it up. Because I think they're down to field cutters. They're not as experienced. I haven't seen them throw it confidently, long throws yet. So that's fine. You just got to look for that dump so that handlers can keep working it up the line.
They've been in every point. I'm pretty sure they've had the disc in every single point. Just need to consolidate, retain the disc.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be similar across all teams, across all tournaments. As we said before, the defense is the strong part, and everyone's getting turns. If they're not forcing turns, the other team's throwing it away. So there's a little bit of wind. We had a look at the forecast before. It's about 16, 17 degrees down here in Geelong. Cloudy, 20% chance of rain. We had a few drops before, which panicked me because I don't have a rain jacket on. And about 20 kilometres, westerly breeze, just coming across the field.
Right to left?
Yeah, we'd say sort of right to left. It's sort of on that angle, which means that this left pocket closest to us is going to be the dangerous corner. If it gets stuck in there, you're in trouble.
Really got to get it out of that corner.
Yeah, we saw New South Wales putting on a good 4-man cup earlier. Sort of like a puppy fence, where they've got one person deep and just really, really aggressive on the throwers, and they've been forcing a lot of turns on that.
Got a score check for the Vic game.
Perfect.
It's 7-4. Victoria's up against South Australia. Just as you called.
Just as I called. I've been watching it out of the corner of my eye, keeping an eye on it, and thought it must be close to that. But, yeah, it looks like looks like Victoria's calling a power line. They've got the disc on offense coming downwind, 7-4. So if they score this, they take half.
It's a big point.
It's a serious point. It's going to be interesting to just watch SA on this, because obviously we'll see Victoria in the next stream. Victoria against New South Wales on this field. Yeah, I've seen it. Both of us, me and Victor, have seen a little bit of Victoria down at trainings, and so it's going to be interesting. They've got quite a good offense, short, sharp, sort of Japanese style or Colombian style.
Very run and gun,
and that's quite different to what we've seen from both the teams here, New South Wales and ACT. There, it looks like ACT is just setting up in the much more traditional Australian sort of national setup.
Bomb it and see how it goes.
Exactly, jacket, and then put on a zone. So it's going to be interesting to see how Victoria sort of comes up against some of the other teams, just with that short play, run and gun style.
We'll see it in the next stream, won't we?
We'll see it in the next stream.
So getting ready for the second half, it's ACT is going to start on offense. And who do we have here? We got Clark, Harvey, Sparks, Boileau. Can't get the next couple. With Garbett, Walls picking up the disc there. Very good grab.
Yeah.
He's caught the pull. And a straightaway, just what we're talking about, big huck.
Oh, and both players got pretty high on that. We haven't seen a foul call. Haven't seen a foul call all tournament.
I think that was a retract there.
It's been quite good spirit, I have to say. There's been a fair bit of contact.
They're allowing the body.
And that's what we would like to see.
Yeah.
I don't like to see a little tap on the side and then call a foul. We'd like to see it sort of free-flowing and played. And there's 2 discs on the field here.
Here we go, multi-disc. This is how you get the score multiplied. This is how you score 2 quickly.
I was going to say, if they throw them both into the end zone, that's a double score, right? Got to play backyard rules.
Unfortunately, the roll from the disc from this field brought it another 20 metres backwards. And they're setting the zone right on him here.
Interesting tactic by New South Wales, but the zone on downwind.
Big around. That's a very good around throw. Hodson's been doing the bulk work, and he's hucked it again.
He's jacked it straight over the cup there, and that's a wonderful throw. Big grab.
It's gonna be crashed through there.
That was Harvey. Takes a nice big grab on the front of the end zone, looking for Tom Clark, and just a little bit of impatience, I think, there. There was only one defender, and they had 2 of them. They could have just held onto that disc for a couple of seconds, centered yourself, and then you've got your options. You can put a nice little dishy over the top, throw a backhand break, anything you want, but just tried to flick it through quickly, and the wind caught it. Big put-up line to Gus McDonald. Really nice put out in front.
Very good set call. Generates another turn.
And we're just seeing turns galore in this game. New South Wales with the disc. Bryce Winchester to Gus McDonald. Gus throws it down the line to Mark Wee. Mark Wee jacks it into the end zone. Big flick.
9-3.
Up the line. And that puts us to 9-3.
The wind's picked up a bit. Now that's a big break considering the wind's gone right to left.
That's a really, really important break there. Just puts them back out in front again. I mean, ACT, they're just struggling. They haven't really looked comfortable going up the wind. They've got it to halfway, I think, once or twice. Downwind, they've looked a lot more comfortable, but they're just jacking it. Just a little bit of impatience. It's always interesting coming into a tournament, especially looking at coaches. Obviously, they will have been trying stuff at training, and it's always different at training as to coming up against real-life defenders.
So we've got ACT coming out on offense again, upwind this time. So we'll see what Wallace and Folksy, the coaches, can muster up here. Their bag of tricks. As we mentioned, they've been struggling a lot trying to jack it upwind. So maybe a shorter game, just a lot of give and go might be in order here for ACT to get back into it.
Having said that, they've got a very young team. They've got a very inexperienced team. I think we were talking to Folksy before, and Josh Matthews-Hunter has played under 18s, and a couple of them played under 18s, but none of them played, being from ACT, they'd be playing for Fishwick, Div 1 Nats. None of them have broken into the Fishwick team, so...
Maybe this year?
Maybe this year. Depends on what Fishwick wants to do, but the difference is there. I mean, when you look at New South Wales, they've got 3 players who played Div 1 Nats. You've got Dan Petrov, Braden Chung, Mark Wee have all played. Plus, they've got a lot of world's experience in under 18s as well. So it's a little bit harder to play that give and go with a young team. But they're doing pretty well for the first game of the tournament. It'll be interesting to see how they go once they start matching up. This is bottom seed against top seed, so you're always going to have a bit of a mismatch.
We've got Barron picking up from the brick mark. Nice under there from Daly. Up line to Chu. And Chu just puts it. It was a nice put, but sadly there was no receiver there for the disc.
They actually worked it up the line quite well there. They got the break, looked break side again, put it up the line, and then just got stuck right on that sideline and just kept trying to force it. He could have just held it for a little bit, look for that
center the pass.
As we said before, yeah, just look for your handler there. Get that swing around and then
Petrov picking up the disc,
work it around the other side
on the end zone line. And a flip. Got caught on the finger almost.
Don't know what happened there. Normally he'd be quite good with that throw. It's only a short one.
So Chu picking up. Inside.
Ambitious inside break there. New South Wales got it back. Back to Dan Petrov in the centre. Looking for Dennis Tran in the middle. Dennis Tran fakes it. Called back on the travel.
That's probably the first call.
That's probably, yeah, one of the first calls of the game.
Petrov's
Braden
kept on
Chan
going.
just punts it. Just a little bit too much outside in on that. With the wind coming across the way it is, that's always going to push it into the ground. And yeah, just good option. Dan Petrov is quick. Put it out in front, but just not enough float on the disc.
Maybe just not quick enough.
Obviously taking inspiration from under 23s campaign. We got Will Norton as the coach, assistant coach, with Alex Latto as the coach. Both of those boys played under 23s in London. So they're
nice D.
Huge D there by Braden, diving across into the lane.
Petrov picking up
the disc. And
an easy open side there.
That's the throw that as a defender, when you're chasing that man on the open side, that's a heartbreaker. You just don't want that to come. Harrison catching the disc. Harrison Revai in the end zone. So New South Wales
10-3 up.
10-3. Oh, and we are getting some gusts of wind here. The forecast did say westerly in the morning, tending southwesterly, so we've got a bit of a change coming through. It's meant to be midday, but it seems to be coming around about now, which will be interesting for this game and for the next. Just the wind has just changed direction here. It was blowing right to left. It's now feels like it's blowing left to right. So
it's flipped completely.
That's a big change. Will Norton just on the field. Looks like Will is in charge of the defensive team and Alex Latto's in charge of the offensive team. That's how they've broken it up here for New South Wales. ACT on offense. But now the way the wind's changed, they're actually heading into the wind
again.
So
second upwind point in a row.
That's That's bad luck right there. Get 2 upwinders.
They got it to the end zone line, and they had 2 shots for the upwind.
I think that was just a bit of impatience. The first one, cramming up the line, there was 3 defenders it actually ended up going past before crashing into the ground. And then the second one was that ambitious, nice throw, but ambitious inside-out break.
Right to the defender.
Right to the defender. It's a hard throw, that one.
Tries to
New
get the
South
stop,
Wales
and it's
with
just
a big
rolled
roller, and it's just rolled out the side. That's a good pull.
Tried to pull out the breakdance move to stop the roll. Missed it.
Missed it. It's always a dangerous one. You don't want to tap that and then have it roll out the back of the end
So
zone.
he's starting right on that end zone cone. Gets it around to Hodson.
Oh no, and he's just turfed it. That's unfortunate. No pressure on that throw. It's a throw you should make every time.
And that's a quick 1-throw score.
Ernie Sau just popping that lefty backhand into the end zone, out in front on the break side. It's just...
And a timeout's been called.
A timeout's been called by ACT. They just want to sort of recollect themselves. They know the wind's changed. Coaches have said, oh, that's unfortunate. We've got to come in. Now they're throwing with the wind on offense.
At this stage, you almost forget about the score and just start playing for next game.
Yeah, definitely.
Get yourself in the mindset that every point's important now. Don't get your head down.
Yeah, and that's a challenge with a young team. You've got to sort of try and keep their spirits up because they may not have played a long tournament. Some of the boys will have, but some of them won't have, and that's definitely an important factor. So when you're playing a long tournament, obviously the first game is not that important because you're only in pool plays, and so you're allowed to lose 1 or 2 and then come out and win the rest of them. So
everyone's in the running.
Always in the running until you're not.
Truer words have never been spoken.
We try here to drop the truth bombs. So ACT, the men's ACT team is called the Light Rails. I haven't actually seen a light rail in Canberra, have you? I think
I've never been.
Oh, have you never been to Canberra?
I've never been to Canberra.
It's a cold city.
Well, that's probably why I don't ever go.
Some pretty good Frisbee tournaments have been held there. BCI, obviously, every second year. Pretty good facilities they've managed to secure all the time. So they've actually got quite a good sort of up-and-coming team there with, a couple of different universities. They've got a good team to pick from.
We got a score check from the Victoria South Australia.
That's what we like to hear.
9-4 to
9-4.
Victoria.
So Victoria took half and then got a break straight after half. That's what they want. I mean...
And they've got the disc back now as well. So it's Victoria with the disc with a chance to go up 10-4.
Now stuck on this hard line. And Sam puts a nice big flick up to Tom Bissett, about 3 or 4 metres out of the end zone. Just crammed it up the line, straight in the end zone.
Lewis Short, is that?
That is, yeah. Strong point there by Victoria.
So that's 10-4 in that field.
10-4, and now they've got the disc. Well, it looks like the wind's just switched back again. It's now heading right to left.
Can't make up its mind, can it?
It's like when you go home after work and you can't remember whether to cook or get takeaway pizza. It's a tough decision, but you end up getting takeaway pizza every time. So New South Wales with the disc on defence, throwing downwind, and ACT. Unfortunate. It almost looks like they've had 3 games, 3 points into the wind now. The way the wind has switched.
If anything, the wind's the best defender on the field currently.
It's been, working in favour. I don't know what New South Wales has done, but they've bribed the weatherman to change it around. Victor will call the line for ACT.
Here we go. We got. Oh, the numbers are on the wrong side from the commentary. So we got Harvey, Shea, Matthews, Hunter, Hodson. We've also got Clark, Daly, and number 5's been obscured. 19 walls. So a strong line, but a very good pull.
Well, you say it's a good pull, but it landed out of bounds. So, oh, was that in?
That was in.
Oh, sorry.
I feel like we're watching different games here, Callum.
It's a wonderful pull.
Stuck is trying to get the reset, and now they're back in their end zone. Need to get this moving.
Oh, and
would you count that as a D there? He hit his foot.
It did hit his foot. It was just too low. He had to just kick the foot out. It's too low to bend down. By Eric Lau there. New South Wales has just been very strong on defence. They read the play quite well. ACT are fast, but New South Wales just read that play, so they react a little bit faster. They're happy to poach off a little bit, especially in the upwind point. So they've been sort of poaching at the front, letting ACT punt it because they have faith in their taller players. We've got Chris Scammell with the disc just stuck on that sideline. And a nice little flick to Angus McDonald in the end zone just to consolidate that score.
12-3.
12-3. And at this stage for ACT, it's really just about sort of trying to keep the boys happy, reinforcing all of the tactics, all of their dumps, trying to get them to set up correctly because you've got to almost write this game off. Bottom seed against top seed, first game of the tournament. Now that it's 13-2, it doesn't. To come back from here, it's going to be pretty tough. You'd rather just sort of set in, get your tactics right, ready for next game.
What's your opinion on the knee? The whole team knee on the line call.
It's an interesting thing. We actually it's been sort of coming into the Australian Ultimate a lot more over the last couple of years. Hoss prevailed it quite well a couple of years back when they won nationals. Creeped into the under-23s last year at Worlds. We all did it. I don't mind it. It sort of forces all the players on the sideline to be engaged with the game. You know what the call is, so that you can come on the sideline, you can give correct sideline talk. Some teams do it better than others, but I think you've got to be either all in or all out for it. You can't have half the team coming in, kneeling, and the other half wandering around and talking to commentators. So ACT are on that. New South Wales don't really care for that.
So we go Petrov with the pull. Hands up. And just around the brick mark. Swing right. So it's a meter to start off, a meter behind the brick mark and straight into a zone by New South Wales again.
This is a different zone to what they've been playing, actually. Oh, sorry. No, it is. It's the same zone. So it's a four-man cup. One player deep and two wings. They're happy to give the dumps, but they're really trying to stop any throws through the middle. ACT did quite well against it in the first or second point. They threw a scuba over the top. Oh, and he's just towed the line quite well there.
He's been called in, but we'll see on the live stream. They're swinging around quite well, and that's unlucky. Bubbles in the wind.
It's a hard throw, that one. You've really got to look at doing a scuba which holds up. The hammer's a bit more... hammer just comes in a little bit faster.
We've got the replay booth as well now.
Wonderful. We've got our little TV screen here so we can see the live stream. We can see what you're seeing at home in real time. We can call all of the slow motion replays.
So ACT with a zone of their own.
New South Wales just stuck on the line. Dan Petrov got the disc. They're just going to swing it around. Swung around to Angus McDonald. Swung it again to the middle. Angus McDonald really just holding. He's their main handler for New South Wales at the moment. And playing quite a good role. Not throwing it away, just holding onto that disc. Ernie Sau throws to Aiden McCabe. Straight through the middle to Dan Petrov. He's called it up. ACT have called it down. There's a stoppage here. Let's see what's going on. I think the ruling is that if it hits any blade of grass attached to the ground, it's technically down. It's
very flat grass. There's probably more sand than grass here.
Very flat track field here. Speaking down at Geelong Wern Ponds Deakin campus.
Being called up.
It's being called up. Play continues. Back around Angus McDonald on the break side. Just playing it slowly. Oh, and there was a little bit of confusion there by New South Wales.
Too many open players.
Neither of the players wanted to grab the disc, and in the end, no one did.
So Chu swings it and gets it back. Just running the offense. Swings it and nice shot through the middle. Garbutt to Chu. Chu just sits on his mark for a bit.
Oh, and that's unfortunate.
Gets it caught in the wind.
It got through to Aaron Garbutt, and then he just doesn't look confident with the disc. Just tried to dump it back, but it just got caught in the wind. There was no spin on it. Turn it over. And then, having said that, New South Wales run it up
right back
and gives it right back to them. So I think for ACT to score this one,
it's the commentator's curse, really.
Maybe we should stop talking mid-point. New South Wales picks it up, punts it in the end zone. Ernie Sau with the score.
13-3. But I think that was much better by ACT. A lot more undercuts, a lot more crashing into the cup.
Yeah, good patience by ACT there. They've got a couple of throwers. Daniel Chu obviously rising above the rest. Darren Chu, sorry. Just happy to hold on to that disc, let the New South Wales defence move around and then throw it through the middle. Worked it almost 3/4 of the way down the field, and then just an unfortunate throwaway by one of the more experienced teams. More experienced team members. So it's just a matter of sort of holding onto that disc, getting it to your stronger players, the ones who are comfortable, and that's what New South Wales have been doing. Angus McDonald, Dan Petrov and Braden, just sort of holding onto that disc and controlling the play, as they say. New South Wales got a very tall lineup on the field.
It's a very tall squad.
It's an incredibly tall squad. I don't know what
must
they're
be something
feeding.
in the water.
I don't know what they're feeding them up there, but they must have looked at Tom Ragaki's sort of meal plan over the last 30 years, and they've just fed every single one of the kids exactly the same food, sent him on the same meal plan because...
Well, it's working for them as well.
If you look at the line there, you've got Braden Chan, who looks small compared to the other boys, but he's 6'1". So the other guys are sitting, Chris Scammell's sitting at 6'4", and it's just incredible. That's the kind of dream team that you want when you're calling or when you're picking a squad. If you've got that many tall players, it's just a selector's dream. New South Wales pulling downwind.
That's a nice pull there.
I was going to say, finally, we've had a pull that actually reaches the end zone with some hang time.
So Hodson, back to Barron. Barron with the under. Yep, to Shea. To Clark. Back to Hodson. Very nice movement here.
New South Wales just poaching a little bit on this defense. They're all
Shea
going for the run-through Ds, and if ACT can just...
They want the stat.
They want the stats. If ACT can just play smart and have a little bit of patience, they should be able to work it up the field. Back to Josh Matthews-Hunter.
Very nice undercut there. Hodson.
A little bit of unlucky.
The cut stopped right before he threw it.
And that is the red zone throwaway that everyone talks about in Ultimate. You work it 3/4 of the way up the field, you get to within 15 metres of the end zone, and it's that last throw into the end zone that's a turnover. It's always tough. Oh, New South Wales just putting it down on the first throw. Jaden Ferguson there just running through. No excuses, really. Maybe his hands are cold. It is quite chilly here with the breeze in Geelong.
Barron with the disc. Oh, tries the around, just never got off the ground there.
New South Wales grabs disc, pops it up. Braden Chan fakes it a couple of times, puts it up the line to Chris Scammell, who just punts it. Nice flick. Not in the end zone.
There we go.
Corba Harrison Revi and pops it straight into the end zone to Dennis. Dennis Tran, or is that Ernie Sau? That's Dennis.
Tran. 14-3.
14-3. New South Wales don't even look tired at this stage. They've got a very large squad, which is surprising.
And they field the teams in all divisions.
Very good effort there by New South Wales. I think Victoria have got a team in all divisions.
I think all 6, except I think Queensland doesn't have a mixed team. Everyone else has brought 3 across.
And that's a pretty good effort. Considering going back to sort of an under-18s competition a few years ago, we were struggling to get a women's and a men's team. And now, first, obviously, inaugural under-22s competition that Australia have held, deliberately looking at developing the under-22s players ready for under-24s in 2018. It's going to be held in Perth. It's a good initiative by the AUDL, the Australian Ultimate Association, to sort of develop the young players, and it gives all of the university players a chance to play high-level ultimates. It can sometimes be hard to break into a nationals team, but having competition like this, as you know, Victor, sort of gives you a chance to develop.
So they got. Are they ready to pull? There's a lot of chatter on the line now.
Standard rule says that once a play has been caught, you have 45 seconds on the offensive team to be ready to put your hand up in the air, and the defensive team has a minute. Now, this isn't a world's competition, but same rules apply, and they have been quite long.
I don't know how much there is to talk about when you're up 14-3, but they're using the time wisely.
Maybe that shows they are up 14-3. ACT, unlucky drop there.
Just straight through the hands.
New South Wales got the disc about 30 metres out of the end zone. Aiden McCarb just puts it up the end zone. ACT gets a hand on it, but that's where the old saying "catch your D's" comes in. He tapped the back of it and it wobbled, went straight through, and then David Andrews for New South Wales caught the score. A few 50-50 chances going the way of New South Wales, which makes, it's a bit disheartening when you're down 15-3.
And that's game. It's game.
And that's game.
15-3. There's a bit of confusion. They don't know the score. They've got it now.
Just a little bit of confusion on the field there, because the scoreboard that you're seeing at home is actually, there's one on the sideline, but it's a bit windy, so it keeps wobbling around, and neither coaches were really paying much attention to the score. Obviously looking at trying to develop their teams and get them ready for the rest of the tournament. Finally, it's all worked out. 15-3, game to New South Wales. It's been pretty good spirit so far this game. We'll see how that goes over the next couple of tournaments. Pretty good rules knowledge, but not many calls, which is what you want to see. Good, fast-flowing games. Next game we'll be filming and putting up on this field. We've got Victoria taking on New South Wales. So that's 1v2. That'll be a bit closer game. That's sort of the game to watch, really. I have a feeling that may be a finals game, either in the semis or in the final. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to come up against a team that you plan on playing in the grand final as your second game of the tournament, because they'll probably be up against them later on. Just had request for a shout out from Will Norton to all of the guys back in New South Wales, back in Sydney. It's a bit warmer up there, I suggest, today than what it is here, but just had a request to say g'day to you guys, and keep watching, because they'll be on again, New South Wales against Victoria, for the next game. We'll catch up with you later. Cheers.